Yo.
Hola.
Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. Good evening. Hey Ruthlyn, we can always count on you.
Hey, Ruthie.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Hope you're doing well.
How's everybody doing out there?
Oh yeah.
Happy Tuesday. Happy Love Talks Tuesday.
Yes. Yes.
I was MIA last week, and I left Bay on his own. You did a pretty good job, Bay, without me.
It was crazy.
But he missed me, y'all. I don't think he can do this without me. So, but it's good to be back. I wasn't feeling too well. Thank God I'm feeling better. And we wanted to continue the topic of conversation that he started last week. So, those of you who are here, please just share the link with someone who you think would benefit from this conversation. Let them know that Love Talks is on.
And if I have my head down, it's because I am sharing myself.
Yes.
So just bear with me as I do this.
Well, my name is Ian Garcon.
And this is Irvin's Garcon. Good evening.
Good evening. We gotta do our thing, bro. My name is Ian Garcon.
And it's Irvin's Garcon.
And we are
Love Talks with the Garcon, where love speaks.
And we listen.
Yeah, man.
All right, y'all. So we just wanted to thank you guys for joining. Not many of you here tonight, but it's okay. The conversation will still go on. Sometimes you guys tune in as we are having the conversation live, and sometimes people will tune in later on down the line during the week, and that's fine. We just love your comments. We love to hear your feedback because you guys, as you all know, are our third host. And so we thank you guys for joining us. Today we're going to continue the conversation about what men wish women knew. What men wish women knew. And Irvin's was bringing up a lot of great points last week that I didn't get a chance to really chime in on because I was in bed. But we will continue that conversation.
But you were watching, though.
I was watching. But it's different, like commenting and actually getting a chance to speak. So we will continue that conversation tonight, and hopefully you guys can gain some gems on what we're sharing tonight.
Yeah, man. So as you're coming in, please go ahead, as it says on the scroll, on the banner on the bottom, do share the live with at least five people. Let them know that we are on, because this is very valuable conversation. To venture just a little bit more, as Ennis said, I'm realizing that this podcast was supposed to be me and you, because when you're not here, it feels different. I don't feel as comfortable. I don't feel like I'm in my element. So as we're talking about what men wish women knew, I wish you knew how much it means to me when we do this podcast.
Babe! Oh my God!
No, man, it makes it a lot easier. Conversation flow better. There's a piece that is missing. Wow.
My heart.
Wow. Okay. That's all it took, huh?
I mean, like, you could have said that. You had a whole week to tell me that, though.
You're getting it now.
I know, but, like, how you know I didn't want it earlier?
Pause. All right. And for those of you guys who are here so far, can you also
I'm just like, I'm in love right now. I'm so easy.
Do us a favor. Also, let us know how we're coming across, because we had some audio issues, just a little bit.
So, technical issues, the whole thing. That's why we are on late, actually.
Yeah, that's why people are late to join us, because they thought we're probably not coming on tonight.
Can you guys hear us, though? Can you hear us well?
Please let us know. Are we staticky? Are we good? Please give us feedback, Instagram, Facebook, before we continue talking. Let us know, can you hear us okay? That's right. We can hear you. It's clear. Let's say something so we know that we are good. We are coming across pretty good, so we don't have to try to listen to ourselves. Are we good? Nobody talking back to us?
It's fine. I think we are good.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Can they hear us?
I don't know. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Hey.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me just go on my phone and double check that. We'll do our own sound check. All right.
But hey, Dwan. Can you just let us know if you hear us well? Like, we just need to know if our sound is good. All right, we can hear you.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome sauce. Thank you guys.
Hey, Dawn. Okay, we're good. Can you just let us know if you hear us well? All right, turn it off, babe.
All right. So let's get into it. So last week, we were talking about, well, I was talking about what men wish women knew. And one of the things that that was introduced in the conversation was this idea of there's a box. Men has boxes, right? We have our work box, we have our sports box, we have our relationship box, and we have our nothing box.
So I know that's some research that you did, but is that true? Like for you, do you have like all these boxes in your head?
I think so. Hey, mom. My mom is here. Wow, my mom is here tonight.
Thank you.
I think so because I feel like sometimes when we're having a conversation, I need to shift. Not that I tune you up, but I feel like don't bring it up while I'm doing something else because I want to be able to just leave that alone so I can focus on what it is that you want to bring up.
I feel like I noticed that. I noticed that sometimes.
I think you noticed that. I don't think we had a term for it. It makes so much sense now.
And it gets me upset. Because I'm like, bro, can I have a response? Like, did you hear what I said? And it's almost like I'm sharing something, like I'm speaking. Hey, Kashna, I'm speaking. And I feel like, okay, I didn't get what I just said merited a response, but you didn't give me a response. So were you even listening to what I said? And you probably were listening, but you just weren't really kind of internalizing what I was saying to give me a real good response. Yeah. And I don't like that.
But that's the thing. So now knowing there's actual science behind it. Actually, I want to do even more research on it. There's actually a scientific theory behind it that exists behind the nothing box, and that nothing box literally is I'm in a space where I'm not thinking about anything else. That is a second point that I brought up last week because we have all these different boxes, and one of them is I call a nothing box. Like you might see me sitting there in my thoughts. Like, hey, what's wrong? Share your thoughts. What are you thinking about? What are you perplexed about? In actuality, I'm not even thinking about anything. There's nothing happening in that particular. You're gonna say, I don't believe it, but that's
like I don't know how that happens. Like, when do you have time to not think of anything? Like, I'm always thinking of something. The only time I think of nothing is when I'm sleeping, and then what I'm thinking of is not my fault. Like it's involuntary, right? And it's like. How do you think of nothing?
Yeah,
like there's no time to think of
something
nothing.
That actually exists. Is that something that actually exists?
That just baffles me. So like when I heard that last week, I was like, oh, so that's why.
Yeah, but even keeping up with what we were talking about, like we wish that you all knew that we have different boxes. And we need to close one box before the next conversation. So if you're trying to say, oh, let's talk about our day. And I'm watching the Heat game, like something that's very interesting to me. And I know what you're gonna say. What you mean? I'm not interesting to you? And that's a problem when we know these things about ourselves, about our makeup, and you know this. Everybody have these different makeups. It actually allows you to be more understanding and not jump to conclusion and jump to assumptions.
I love that you said that. Now there's a difference. No, because there's a difference between understanding and acceptance.
Okay.
I can understand that that's the way you are, but do I have to accept it?
Yes, to a certain degree you must.
Okay, explain to a certain degree.
You have to, if you know this is the way that people operate, that we that's the way we operate. You have to accept that is where I am. There can be a trajectory of being better.
Okay, I wanted that
but part. There needs to be acceptance as well.
Because I feel like a lot of people will make excuses for their makeup to stay a certain way.
But it's a reality.
So let's say, this is what I mean. So let's say a Christian, right? As a Christian, before you become a follower of Jesus Christ, you operate in the flesh. Like you are flesh city, right? You are this you're just walking in the flesh, right? But now when you become saved, you have to now walk in the spirit, and it doesn't just happen overnight. You have to put the work in to walk in the spirit. You have to be intentional. So you wait, I'm not done. So there is some effort to change because you know you're not supposed to stay one way. Now, if what you're doing is affecting me, but it's part of your makeup and you have control over it and you're not doing anything about it, then that says something. That says that it doesn't really need, it doesn't matter.
But you know what the problem is, right?
What?
The problem is, and I'm not saying that you do this, but that's what it's coming across like right now.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that level of energy that could cause someone to turn off and not try to go for that trajectory. Because almost like you're saying, I get it, but you got to do this.
No. What I'm saying is
there's pacing that is involved.
Yeah, I don't want to give off the impression that just because this is their makeup, we have to just accept it. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I don't.
This is like a real conversation, y'all.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about this.
But this is what I'm gonna tell you. Mm-hmm. Do you hear yourself? You're still not focusing on that grace to hopefully that person seeing them in their mind, because that's the other part too. You have some people, and I was having a conversation earlier with someone. You have to have also in mind some people need it's pacing. It's pacing. When you put pressure on somebody, you get the opposite reaction of what you expect.
What am I saying? What am I saying right
You're
now
saying,
that makes it sound like
you have
Did
to.
y'all see that?
That's what it's coming across. Yep.
No, what I'm trying to say, babe, and I think you do this all the time.
Yeah, we do.
When we have our like disagreements and stuff, Urban's always has a but to add to what he's saying. And I'm like,
it's not a but.
Bro, sometimes you don't need a but. Sometimes it's just like, hear what I'm saying, and it can really be it. Like, thank you. Kasha says she's agreed with me. She agrees with me.
I'm not surprised.
Guys, listen to this. Okay. If someone is a certain way because of their makeup, I understand that. And of course, there's going to be a level of grace that I put into when I'm dealing with the person. However, if you as a man, if you know that some of the things that are part of your makeup, it doesn't work for our relationship, meaning like there's no trajectory of us growing because of this one thing, you, because you love me, because you care about our relationship, will put in the work. Right?
I think
you'll put in the work to grow in that area. I'm not saying that I'm not gonna extend grace and give you time, but if I see that you're just stuck and you're stuck on purpose because you're not putting in the work, that's gonna aggravate me.
In the context of what we're talking about in Garcon, you need to understand.
See what I'm saying?
Listen,
because time out. I just need some validation right now. Did you hear what I said?
I heard exactly what you're saying.
Okay. And what did you gather from it?
Oh my God, can I talk now?
I'm asking you a question before you say your piece.
Of course I gather what you from. I understand what you're saying for the purpose of the relationship and the purpose of what makes you happy as a spouse.
Not me. I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about people.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And for that purpose, it's almost wait, don't go to that last comment yet. You are expecting this immediacy of change. And you could go to that second to last comment.
I just want to say where you hear immediacy from. Why do you keep putting words in my mouth, honey?
Oh my goodness. This is not about us.
No, but I didn't say immediately. I didn't say
here. Okay.
Sorry.
Right.
Are we still on? Okay.
Are we back on? Just say real quick because we got it kind of locked.
Yes,
we
are.
Okay, cool.
Sorry.
All right. So
are we still on?
I need you to listen and don't judge right now. I think you understand what I was saying to you. The issue here is, and this is not about us, but the way you're speaking, it's almost like you are expressing some sort of immediacy of change. Now I'm going to bring up Anderson's points. The first thing Anderson said, This assumes we all have the tools needed to change. Great point. Because as much as you're saying for the partner in the relationship, for the growth of the relationship, you must. Not everybody have the ability to do whatever it is that you're asking them to do. It's not a crutch. It's just an inability, right? Just like when somebody's disabled, they're disabled.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
I hear you.
So now the person should not stay stagnant. They must try. We are evolving. When you are in a relationship, whether it's work, whether it's partnership, whether it's parent children, whether it's romantic relationship, there ought to always be a trajectory to change because most people really do not have the skill, the ability, the know how to get better. And even if they do, it might be gradual, not to the pace of that person's liking. I might be in a relationship with someone for about 2 years. And by developing new habits, I become slowly but surely who you want me to be in those 2 years.
I think we're saying the same thing.
I know, but I think it's not that we're not saying the same thing, but the way you are communicating it, guys, forgive me if tell me if I'm wrong. You are almost expressing. This is not about us. This is generally speaking, and and that's us because N tend to expect an immediacy.
I don't like that you keep saying immediacy, babe. I don't expect immediacy. I don't. Immediacy is because you keep saying immediacy. You need to stop saying that. I didn't finish my thought. Good.
There's certain pacing that is not realistic for everybody. So it's a slippery slope for you to think, as Anderson is saying, it's a slippery slope to assume somebody's pacing is going to be. And all we're talking about is just box. We think about.
I know.
We think about different things. Men think about different things, and sometimes if you want to have a conversation about something, and then another box is open at that moment, you have to give us time to bring it to the box where you want to go.
I agree with that. Right? What I'm saying, I don't know. Why
I think you're spoiled because wait a
minute.
No, I'm serious.
What are you saying?
I think you're spoiled because you have someone, although we've been together for a very long time, who try his best to do the trajectory things. Tell the truth. But there's some people who don't at all.
I understand. Okay, this is what. Okay, I'm sorry, Anderson. I don't believe that people don't have the tools necessary to change. I don't believe that they don't have it. I believe that they're not looking for it. Babe, I really feel like they're not looking for it. Like, wait. If someone has a hot temper, right? If someone has a hot temper and they just don't know how to control their anger, if they really want to get that under control, they will find a class. They will attend a workshop. They will go and pray. They will do something and I can understand if you've tried and you tried and you tried, and then you realize, okay, I ain't got the tools. I just can't do this. You know what I'm saying?
And then what?
But yeah, there is an effort. There has to be an effort. I'm not talking about immediacy. I don't think that's realistic. People can't immediately change. Like, even when you first get saved, you're gonna be slipping, right? In the first couple of months, years, or whatever, until you put in that work to really push to really be this new creature, right? Same thing goes in relationships. You can come into a relationship and you're one way, but as you discover each other and you become one, there's some adjusting that needs to take place. There's some adjustment that needs to take place. And even if you're taking baby steps, I think that should be applauded. If you are taking baby steps, beautiful. Like, it just shows that you're trying at least. But I believe that there are people who will use how they are as a crutch to remain in the same place.
I'm gonna let you answer Anderson's question. You're in Anderson's talk.
And
I should bring Anderson on the live right now.
What he said?
He said, and if everyone had the tools to change, we would already be translated into heaven because we would be perfect. Also, if we had the tools, why would we need therapy?
Therapy is a tool. That's what I mean. I'm not saying that it's in you. I'm not saying the tools are innate. I'm not saying that. Sometimes you have to outsource. You have to look for ways to change. You have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, going back to that save things. Yeah, hey, heaven would be what? Heaven would be open already? Yeah, because we'd be perfect, but we're not perfect. We are constantly doing, like, right, it's like a morning by morning new mercy I see, right? I'm trying, give us today our daily bread, like every single day, renewing of your mind daily, right? It's a daily thing. You have to, you have to take the steps to try. Trying is effort. Trying is kind of is using a tool.
All right, let me ask you guys a question, and don't be scared of her. Do you feel, the reason why we're on this topic so much, do you feel, even though N might be right, but when she first started, it was as if she was expressing immediacy and expectations of immediacy, or expectation of it of the person changing at all? So tell me yes or no if you feel like she was actually expressing that. No if you feel like, oh, she was just doing her thing. So vote yes or no, because that's why I had to, like, yo, babe, calm down, because not everybody is on that pace or trajectory that you expect, right? So,
like, I would never demand anything to be done immediately.
That's how you sounded to me.
To you. Don't try to bring them into it.
So now let me know if you feel. Thank you.
No, boy, that's one person, bro. Give some time.
Ladies, please be honest. She can't fight. She will not. She cannot do anything to you. It sounded very immediate.
It's the same person, honey. Like, give it time.
Okay, ladies, Duan, Kashna. Did she sound like
Marveling? Let's go. Did
she sound like she was expressing? I expect this to happen, but come on, Kashna, you can go ahead and vote. Don't laugh. We don't want those emojis. Do you think there was some sort of immediacy and expectation that N was saying? Because, like Anderson was saying, it might not be the case. Or if you're on Instagram, same question. We'll wait.
I mean, if that's how it sounded to you, Anderson and Irvins, men, I'm sorry, but I never. Thank you. She said, I don't think so.
No.
She's saying
she did not say no.
She said, I don't think so. I didn't hear the beginning, Marvel. Okay.
She did not say no either.
I wish we could just replay this and bring it back. But no, I wasn't expressing.
My wife has a way of expressing things, and they sound very expectation-ish. You still not say no, Duan. Thank you.
What? Why?
Thank you.
Wait, time out. Anderson didn't say yes or no either. He said that's how I interpreted it. It sounded to me. So that's not yes or no.
Anderson just say yes. So she'll.
Oh Lord.
She get the point. But anyway. Oh yeah, so one. You see why I miss having her? I'm able to bounce off of her better. Okay. One box at a time. Ooh. Thank you, Anderson. Yes. So Duan and Kashna, all you have to do is say yes or no. I don't want no commentary. Yes or no. We'll wait for y'all. But anyway. So bottom line, a man wants you to know what a man will want to know in that context is. If you want a man's full attention, you have to give him time, right? To mentally switch gears. Give him space to switch gears from one thing to the next. Kashna's lying.
Thank you. Like, come on. It has to be the men, because the men hear differently.
So that's also,
can we talk about that?
No, wait. So that's also interesting then, because I don't think I'm being mean-spirited, nor is Anderson. So I think it's even in that particular context, it's important to know we think differently, we receive things differently. Like, I'm going to put, what we're going to do is, I think I'm going to cut that clip. Okay? I'm going to cut that specific clip, and put it with the same question and get a vote from everybody. They feel like you were being immediacy. But anyway.
I don't know why you're trying to throw me under the bus.
Anyway. This is every day, guys.
They hear, I'm telling you, you guys hear completely different. Like, I really don't see how what I said translated to what you heard.
It's the truth.
I really don't.
It's the truth.
You guys really hear differently, but that's okay. That's another thing we have to understand. And that's why okay. I love that you said what you said as far as knowing the makeup of the gender should give you a level of grace as you're dealing with them, right? You should understand.
Yeah. And the part I agree with you on is we should not remain stagnant. I agree with for the betterment of the relationship, for the betterment of whatever the relationship is, there has to be evolution. There has to be growth, and there has to be a willingness for it. But even during the conversation, the grace part is also super important, as you also mentioned. And a realistic expectation is pacing, right? We cannot expect immediacy.
Stop saying that word. I hate that word now. I don't ever want to hear that again. I don't. I hate that word.
That's what you're expressing.
No, okay, but now let's think about it.
Are you still on that?
Yes, because I want to talk about.
She feel guilty, guys.
When you say a level of grace should be extended, right? Now I know we shouldn't put a time limit on things.
You shouldn't. Don't even ask the question because it's going to be based on the situation, the individual.
But do you hear how that can be like stifling? Do you hear how that can be?
Do you hear that could be immediacy?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
You're trying to put you're getting ready to put a time period on this thing. That's exactly what you're about to do.
Because my question
I don't mean to put a time period on it, but how long should
No, because it's like
hurry up.
No,
it's been like 2 months now. I've asked you to be a better person, to be a better communicator. You're still not good. Hurry up. How long? What, you need like 2 more weeks?
How long is too long?
We don't know.
I think that depends on the people who are in the relationship.
Yeah, that's why you could.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I think that's why you cannot ask a question in terms of length, how long this thing's last.
But I think we can put there has to be some type of standard. Like if there are no standards, like what do we know? How do we know what we're reaching for? Like
there's gonna be a high level of relativity in every single situation. And it is what it is. So we have to be able to accept that. Guys, if you're with someone...
This is when we say that relationships are hard. Like,
it takes work.
It takes work because you have to be willing to stick with a makeup of a person.
Yeah. No, you're right. And this is where...
and just deal with it.
And this is where acceptance come in. Remember we did a workshop a couple of years ago. Our best workshop. I love that. Every time I go to that workshop, I really enjoy it. About realistic expectations. Yeah, and one of the things that we talked about, and one of the things that we talked about, there's a slide where we talk about what I can't remember exactly what it is. What the 3 C's in relationship was: compromise, conversation, communication. It was something else, but we threw a curveball and we threw an A in there, which is for acceptance. Because ultimately, you might be with that person who's just stagnant, right? And are you willing after, I'm not saying to just settle, but you've been with this person for a long time. You know them to be a certain way, but are you willing to accept them the way that they are? And if you're
in
not,
marriage
or in relationship,
no, not necessarily because in relationship you don't have.
So let's start with relationship, because then are you willing to accept them if they don't become better and still marry them?
And that's what we talk about non-negotiables, right? If it's not a non-negotiable,
yeah,
then okay. But if it's a non-negotiable, then you don't have to accept.
Because there's certain things. There's certain things so your person have in them, certain flaws that they have in them. You cannot stand it. You cannot stand it.
What are you talking? Is that sounds kind of personal? that came out very personal. What are you talking about?
But if you're not willing to accept the person as they are, if you're not willing to accept them as they are, you might need to move on. If you're not willing to accept, because you have to go in there with the expectation that the person might not change. All right. I don't know how we got to that, because we're supposed to be talking about what every man wish women knew.
I mean, you're talking about it. I just doesn't mean we gotta like it.
See, oh my God, she got a good one, guys. Listen. I am not tooting my own.
No,
wait.
Right now,
hold on,
you don't stand me.
I'm not tooting my own horn, but not everybody have this kind of dynamic and patience and grace and
Purpose, what are you saying?
because my
about
wife
me right
has
now?
a lot of emotional demands. Yeah. And there's almost 20 years. I'm still here.
Okay, well, let's talk about what women wish men knew.
That's next week. Prepare the presentation. Nah, but serious, we could do this for the month. Is the month almost over?
Yes.
Wow. Oh my God. It's April. It's April already next week. That's crazy. But anyway, what another thing that we talked about last week that every man wish women knew about them. Men are we are we are problem
Clueless.
solving. We like to fix things. We're natural fixers, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with that one. I guess it depends on the context, right? But men are natural fixers. When we hear a problem, our first instinct is to try to find a solution. We don't move on with emotions first. We try to analyze things, strategize, and try to act.
And I think that's irresponsible.
That's irresponsible.
I mean, you didn't want to hear why?
Go.
Because, like, if there are emotions involved, like we gotta talk about the emotions first before we try to fix things.
Well, we wish you knew that that's not how we are wired.
But okay, and this is what I mean, babe. But then I wish you knew that women are wired that way. Like, if I'm upset about something, we're not talking about solving the problem. We're talking about why I'm upset. How about let's try to fix that? Let's try to fix this emotion before we can move to solving the problem.
See what I mean?
So now this is really good, because now what is the happy medium?
So the example that's given, for example, your wife come home and say, my boss is so annoying. A man's gonna be like, you should just quit the job. The woman, I don't want to quit. I just want to vent. So why did you bring it up? I'm giving you a solution.
Oh, so
to your situation.
So you want to just pay all the bills? Like,
this is an example.
I know, but like, what do you disagree with, Ruth?
You're not gonna be quitting. Well, you ain't got no job right now.
Problems should be solved logically. I agree with that, but let's really just kind of okay. So this is what I mean. If I'm very like emotional, or let's say I'm crying about an issue, so we're not going to ignore the fact that I'm crying. We're going to try to fix this crying issue first before we come and solve the problem. If we're heated, we're going to have to diffuse, right? Like, the emotions matter. If you're in a state where you are so livid, or your emotions are heightened, you really can't think well. Like, you want to really think and process properly. So I think you gotta deal with the emotions first, and then you come to the solution.
But
that just makes more sense to me.
One of the things that can work in this particular example is if you, as the person who's bringing the emotions about the problem, and a man is a problem solver, you can let them know, hey, listen, I just need to vent for a minute. I'm not necessarily looking for a solution or escape plan. So I just need to vent.
So this communication.
Yeah, the communication. This is just me venting, because at the end of the day, a man is probably wired to try to think, okay, how can we solve this? How can I help you solve this problem? Versus just listening to you to complain about it. And it's not in a negative connotation, but we are thinking about it, because you might be coming to the person rhetorically about a problem. So if it's trying to tell you, hey, so quit your job, you got to understand, don't take it.
Said quit.
Who's that?
Yeah.
So
former coworker.
It's not to say that you're not being sensitive to the feeling of what I'm bringing to the table. It's just that the man is just trying to give you a solution, bypassing the emotions. So the good solution would be, hey, I'm not asking you for any kind of solution. I just need to listen to me and let me vent about that problem. For example, too close to home. The example I was gonna give the current situation we've been talking about with our family, right?
Okay.
And that's why I try to tell Ann, and I tell people when I talk to them, to people who come for me for advice, I can be super dismissive, guys. I could be super dismissive. Let's say
to who? To who?
To people.
Everyone.
To people. Let's say, for example, Anderson, you have a problem with a buddy of yours. Hey, yo, this dude always get on my nerve. Yo, it's not an equal thing. It's always me. It's always this. It's always that. I put on all the work. I'll be that dude, Anderson. I'll be like, yo, dub this dude. Move on. That's my solution. I'm not gonna sit there and try, especially if it's a continuous thing. At this point, just move on. Like, bro, it's not worth it.
So why would you say that? Because the guy is refusing to change, right?
Oh Lord. Yeah, the guy is refusing to change, so you move on. You don't expect him to change. You're not putting a timeline on him changing. You're realizing that you cannot handle it, therefore you move on. Right? So a lot of time guys tend to think that way, which is like, yo, bump it, dub it, but it's up to you as his partner to be like, no, at this time with the problem I'm bringing to you, I'm not looking for a solution. I'm just looking for an ear. And at that point, make sure he's in the right box. Make sure he's in the ear box. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. There be time where and try to come in like, are you, bro, you really, like, you don't see what I'm doing right now? I'm in my nothing box. Leave me alone.
So that means I don't matter to you.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? And those are I know you're joking. But these are the interpretation that happen in real time. Right? These are the interpretation that happen in real time that bring a lot of issues in relationship, guys.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold that. I like to see you better.
So, I appreciate that men solve problems without emotions. Yeah. She said emotions can get in the way and never be resolved.
Yeah, but it's also not healthy though. It's also not healthy, Brooklyn, because sometimes, it's not healthy for us. Like Anderson just said,
not that's not healthy that you guys just don't.
It's not. It's unhealthy because you're bottling things in.
Oh, that's not healthy. You guys don't.
Yeah, you didn't address the emotion that come along with the situation.
And that goes back to the conversation that we were talking about 3 weeks ago with the panel about that safe space, like creating a safe space for your person to be able to express themselves emotionally. And I feel like
oh snap,
okay. Like I have, like, you've cried in front of me.
Never. Thug life from the west side of Haiti.
And it's crazy. It's more so lately than before.
Right.
Like in our former years, I think you were still having this like tough boy type of attitude. But as the years progressed and we became more intentional about being a certain way for each other, he found a space. He found a space in me, in our relationship, to cry. And oh my gosh, that,
I don't know. She must be talking about her previous relationship. Because this guy right here, this thug right here, from the west side of Haiti, Cap-Haïtien, all day, baby citadel. We don't do that out here.
The last time you cried was last month, babe. And I held you.
Don't play with me. About what?
Babe.
Last month. That's because she was milking my pocket. She milked my pocket for this project.
And I held him, y'all. I held him through it all.
She milked my pocket.
But that just goes to show you
a concert. By the way, if you know that we're promoting the Yearning, got something coming up for you guys really soon. Shameless plug, but not really. No, that concert was expensive. Listen, that concert was expensive on one income. True. But God. Yeah, God.
Yes.
All right. Another thing that we wish that every woman knew from a man perspective, that men, we communicate in short, straightforward sentences. Short, straightforward sentences. We say what we mean, and we expect the same in return. Okay? We are not great in reading between the lines or decoding hidden messages. So do not play that game. Don't play that game, y'all. Say what you want to say. You should have known. You didn't see I was mad. You didn't see my face. You didn't see we were in bed. I turned my back to you. Oh.
Now this is part of one of our this is one of our slides that we share on unrealistic expectations. And this is what I want to say. Yes, I teach that you shouldn't expect your partner to read your mind, but God is still working on me because I feel like by now you should know. I'm just being honest. By now, you should have a hit, bro.
But I will say, as Anderson is talking about, the reading of the signal thing, that's unhealthy. I just say it. I think creating, I think creating that space in your relationship for vulnerability and to honesty, and whatever other words you want to use is super, super important. So I don't fully agree with that. I think that's something that people have to work on. Just be direct with your person, because that's what men expect. That we appreciate that, right? We don't have to play the guessing game, and that's for either side of whether it's a man or the woman. Just be able to communicate what your needs are. Of course, make sure the nothing box is not activated.
But I also feel like you have to really filter your thoughts before you speak.
Right.
Because there are times that you will share something with your person and automatically you want to say the first thing that comes to your mind, but you know that if you say that, or there is times where you automatically said what came to your mind and it hurt the situation as opposed to helping it. So we have to be very mindful about what we say, how quick we are to speak. You know how the Bible says, be slow to speak, but quick. What is it? It's quick to listen, but slow to speak, right? Which means you got to listen first.
Is that the scripture? I don't want you embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, that's it, right? Be slow to speak and quick to, right? That's what it is.
Now you got me wanting to look up the scripture.
I think that's what it is, where you have to take your time to internalize what was said, process it, and then you share from a space where that safety net is not broken. Because once the safety net is broken, it's hard to coot it. Say coot?
Sew it back
oh my
up.
gosh, I lost the English word. To sew it back up, to create that safety net once again. So yes, it
says James 1:19, know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I said. Yeah. So really think about what
Thank you, Lady C. She said that is scripture.
Thank you. Think about what you heard, and then you can respond. Because honestly, there's a lot. You know how they say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Whoever made that up, they lied. Words hurt. Words destroy. Words kill. And so if you say something, you can never take it back, even when you say sorry. I didn't mean it. You really didn't mean it. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So, and this is what I want to say too. Because even if you said it and you say you didn't mean it, you really did, right? And that's why you got to ask God for a clean heart. Because sometimes our heart is really wicked. Sometimes the way you think about your person is really not good.
Right.
You got to pray those things out.
Right.
Because once it comes out, it's out. And now the devil has access to it and can use it to manipulate situations in your relationship to make it worse. So we really got to be careful with what we say.
Right. So, but the directness factor, but continuing the same conversation. No. There's no but. Just be direct, very direct, but be very mindful about how you are projecting what it is that you need to project. Right. Bones a little quicker than yeah. That's facts.
So true.
That's facts.
So true.
All right. Another thing that we wish that every man wish women knew is that the way we process emotions, right? Men do feel emotions deeply, but they often process them internally first. While you women process feelings out loud, men may need time and space before they talk about it.
So where do we find the happy medium, right? Like,
again, I don't think there's no real answer. I think the answer is you need to find a happy medium. How long it takes, what's that process, is individualized. It's still subjective to your situation, but we can agree that there is a need to find middle ground, right? Acknowledging that, okay, he does need that time. Yeah, it depends on your person. He does need that time to process it. And I need to understand you need to process it right away, and then trying to find where that is. You have to watch the replay, Jimmy. Dude, you're gonna come in 54 minutes late, and you want to recap.
No, we're talking about what men wish.
What's up, Beans? Thanks for joining us.
We're talking about what men wish women knew. And right now we're talking about how men, they process emotions internally first, whereas women process emotions externally first.
Yeah, Jimmy, remember that girlfriend you told us about in high school?
You're stupid.
Why would you wish she knew about? So yeah, I think that one goes without saying. Like if a man is upset but not talking, it's not a good. We don't want to try to force us to talk at the moment. Give us some time, but guys, don't let it take 3 days.
Thank you. There should be a standard. Thank you. So we're back to that. There has to be a standard. What? Why are you looking at me like
I'm just letting you talk. You got excited.
Because there has to be a standard for everything. We are not psychics. That's all I'm gonna say. You're right.
That's fine,
we're not psychics. But at the same time, like if there are no standards.
You say physics, but
stop.
I could mess with Jimmy like that.
If there are no standards, like how do we know what we're striving for? So that's what I mean. Like, yeah, I know every relationship, you got to find, we always say this, like you have to find the formula that works for you, right? But if there's no standard set in your formula, you're really like going in circles.
You said it perfectly though. I think it's finding that common ground. I think that's a standard. That's a standard. We might not be able to put a time frame on everybody. You can't tell Jimmy he'll get I'm the dummy. You can't tell Jimmy, okay, you need to get over your feelings and get in the pace of reconciliation with your person in 3 days because that's what you used to with your person, right? But he also should try to close the loop as best and as quickly as possible. So there is a sense of immediacy and urgency.
Ooh.
But not to
the sense of what?
Urgency.
No, say the first word.
No, I'm good.
The word that I hate.
Thank you. I'm good.
You said it. There was a point in time where Irvington and I would have an argument, and Homeboy would go a week without talking to me. Now tell me how that's okay.
Not a week, fam.
Bro.
You is a
3 days. 3 days. 3 days is a week to me.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? There are 7 days in a week. Sis is gonna exaggerate this a week, but then admit 3 days is like. Does that make sense to y'all? Do you see what I've been dealing with?
But why 3 days, bro?
Because Jesus resurrected in 3 days. I want to be like Christ.
You needed 3 days?
Though I'm trying to be like Christ.
Yeah, I had to put my foot down.
Yeah. Well.
We're not doing that. We are not doing that.
Our minds just work differently.
It really does.
I think there's a science. There's science behind it.
So you can't be frustrated with me if you know that.
Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy said match energy Let me bring up his comment. Match energy is truly is diabolical, but I'm not gonna lie. I match energy. Yeah, and that doesn't help in the relationship beings. Like really, truly, that's an area of growth. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are better at de-escalating than your partner is, use your skill of de-escalation.
Use your superpower.
Use your superpower. You can't always expect them to be the one if they don't know how to do it. It's like me. I'm in school. I know a kid who has a lot of social emotional problems. I'm arguing with that kid back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm gonna win as the adult, but ultimately we're both gonna lose because that relationship is seven. I can no longer teach you, right? And so I like what you just said, babe. Use your superpower. It's very important how you use your superpower. What is your ability in contrast or in light of that person's inability or disability?
Yeah.
Right. So,
like we always share how when we are having a disagreement, my superpower is not taking 3 days.
oh, it's not a week. It's 3 days. Okay. Thank you.
And so I'll de-escalate, or I'll open lines of communication earlier, sooner, just to get us out of that rut. I'm better at it, and so that's what I do. What are you better at, babe?
With us,
Mm-hmm.
a lot.
Share one.
I'm more of a logical person than you are, and I'm able to see different angles in certain things. You tend to get clouded by emotions, but my logic is what help us to look at different things, not just in our.
But I think it's a really good balance, because
Yeah.
I pull out the emotional side of you to make you really feel a little bit, so you're not as dismissive when we are being logical, right, babe? Be
Yeah.
honest, right, babe?
Yeah, sure.
I'm serious.
Okay.
Not just women love to be right. Everybody loves to be right. No one likes to be wrong. So you're always going to argue your case, but I think it has to be done with a level of, I think, care. Because sometimes when we're trying to argue our case, we're really dismissing what the other person said. Now, I know no one likes to be wrong, but you have to admit when you are wrong. And sometimes that's it. It doesn't need an explanation.
Jimmy's on tonight. Somebody's triggered. Somebody's triggered. Yeah. So, oh wow, it's been an hour. Okay. So next week we didn't even we're coming up with a topic on the live. Would you guys love for us to do the opposite next week? What women wish men knew. You're gonna have to do your
I'm fine.
research.
I know from the top of my head.
Oh wow.
Let's go. I'm ready tonight.
So next week you're gonna come back with what women wish men knew, and I think the week after we want to come up with some how do we find common ground. We're gonna unpack that a little bit more.
I always carry evidence.
Oh my god.
She got receipts.
That's kind of creepy though.
Listen, we got receipts.
That's a little creepy. Yeah. Man.
No, really. I mean, I think this conversation is necessary because people will continue to do relationship wrong if you don't understand the person that you're with.
Yeah.
And not just the person, the makeup of that person. All right? Because
dang.
Wait. Oh, really? You want to come in, Terry? She said she always carries evidence, text messages, recordings, emails, and everything to make my point.
That's kind of crazy.
No, because receipts. if we don't understand the makeup of the person that we are dealing with, we're going to continue to make the same mistakes. There's never going to be a trajectory of of growth in a relationship.
Right.
It's always going to be stagnant because we're just never going to get to a solution. Like, men need to understand how.
Wait. It's not. No, that's next week.
Okay,
No. Save it. Next week,
ladies, y'all come back next week, okay? Because we gotta let these men know.
And Terry, you can come next. Be sure here next week in the comments. We might actually try to bring some people on.
Let me talk. Listen,
So we did the. I didn't mean to do 2 weeks of it, but like I said, Ann was sick last week. So today, what men wish women knew.
Jimmy did not just say that. What? Those recordings are made up.
Photoshop.
You're gonna be.
So guys, oh man, this one was another good one. Wow.
You almost got heated on me though. Like I saw your face.
Cause I had a flashback. You and your timelines on things, bro.
Immediacy.
And why did you learn from tonight? Let's
time out.
Wait.
Time out. Why I gotta be when I had to learn something?
Because you're on the live, and the title is "What Men Wish Women Knew." So, as a woman, what was your takeaway for that you can speak to the women about? What was your takeaway from this live that happened over the course of 2 weeks? Go.
Men don't think.
Good night.
I just still can't accept that men have nothing boxes. But men compartmentalize, and they think about one thing at a time. Okay. And so in order to have a fruitful conversation, one box needs to close so that they can open up the new box.
Very good.
Because they just can't do two things at once.
As a woman, can you be gracious towards that?
Yes.
Or is it my expectations, or you don't love me? You're neglecting me, or you're not opening up to me, all of this stuff. Okay, go ahead.
I understand it.
Right.
Okay. Now I said, and this is something I'm going to bring up next week, there's a difference between understanding and acceptance. And we will unpack that even more next week, okay? Number 2 that I learned is that men are logical, which means they process emotions internally, and then they want to solve issues. They want to just solve problems. So they'll process the emotions internally and look for a solution, as opposed to being emotional and then trying to solve a problem. I understand that. Last thing I learned was that men. What's the last thing I learned?
Oh no.
The last thing I learned.
We're solution oriented.
I just said that they're solution oriented.
No, in the sense that we don't process. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
That's it. I think that's the 2 things I learned. Those are the 2 big ideas that we talked about tonight. And I understand it. I'm okay with it. I just feel that men have to, well, not men, people, because there are going to be some things that I share next week that you're probably not going to be okay with. There has to be some level of effort to change whatever it is as part of your makeup that's not working for your relationship. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
That's what you learned. Coming from a man.
It's not about what I learned. It's factual. Like that's a reality. Like, right, babe?
Right. Okay.
Nah, bro.
Coming from a man, I just don't think men are as logical as they think they are. Okay. Interesting.
Because they're big babies trying to be tough dogs.
But I think what it is, Anderson, I think
what did he say?
Yeah, I like this point.
I think what we say is logic, but really just uniformed or masked emotions, right? Because why are most assaulters men? Most crimes committed by men.
I think
Ruth and Jimmy are just in the comments, just going in on each other.
Can they even see each other's comments? They could, right?
Yeah.
Even if we don't project it.
Yeah. Wow, that's really good in it. That's a whole different conversation in itself, right? Like, men they think they're jelly beans. You ever heard about that? A jelly bean is hard on the outside but super soft on the inside. There's this little boy in every man that needs like this level of nurturing. I'm telling you, because you are they're raised to not show emotion, to be strong, to man up when you're 12. I don't even know what that means, but they hear it since they're like 8 years old. Man up, boys don't cry, And so like what you said, what they say may be logical, but they're raging with emotions that they don't even know how to control because they were never taught or they were never given the permission to express it.
But even in that, even with that though, we wish women knew that. More women understand that.
I know that.
No, it's not about you, bro.
I just tried to create a moment.
We wish women knew that. Stop creating.
I wish my husband knew that I like to create moments, and you just go with the flow.
Anyway, guys, this was a good. You see why I missed her?
I'm sorry. This last thing. Now that I'm raising a boy, it's surprising how emotional he is. And I accept it because I don't want to shrink him.
Yeah, I encourage it. I encourage it with my son. I wish my son was more emotional with me. He's more emotional with mom. They all talk to N better. I don't know if that's a good thing. If you feel some type of way, at least they are able to open up to a parent. And then mom snitch on me, and then I have to call them in. Let's talk about this.
Snitch on them.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Yes, mark your calendars, mark your time, and we'll be on time next week.
Next week is what women wish men knew. And we're going to unpack that. Ladies, come back. Terry, come back. Wilson, come back.
Come with your receipts.
Jimmy, I need you here to fight with Wilson in the comment. Anderson, bring that wisdom as always, man. Until next time, we appreciate you guys. Love you, love you, love you. And sorry for our tardy today because of the glitches, but we are back. Until next time, I am Irvin's Garcon.
I am Ian Garcon.
And we are Love Talks with the Garcon, where love speaks and we listen. Good night.
Bye, y'all.
Subscribe.
Yes.